Welcome to Business Live. I'm Mark Croskery. In BL tonight, first up, we've got Seprod Limited declaring a nice dividend here and an interesting dividend. So it's an interim dividend of Jamaican 30 cents per share. It's going to be payable on October 19th, 2020. Now, the interesting development here is that there's a second part of this dividend, and here's a twist. It's an additional declaration. It does take some deeper reading and some deeper understanding if you're a shareholder. So if you're under 20,000 Seprod shares, you're going to get you'll actually get additional cash. Now, if you're 20,000 or over shares, you're going to get some ratio or some pro rata of Epic Caribbean Value Property Fund. No, it's not, let's say, a related party or a Muslim company or something like that, because coincidentally Seprod's AGM, which they did a terrific job at, the chairman, the CEO, Scott and Panduhi, everybody, and it was actually live streaming on their website, that's seprod.com. So embracing technology and doing all of that good stuff. Lots of questions and answers there that were done very well. But in this case, and getting back to the point is that you get some type of distribution here, some type of ratio if you're 20,000 Seprod shares or larger, and you get that in the form of Epic Caribbean Property Fund shares once we have that accurately. We haven't seen this done in recent times, maybe whatsoever in Business Live, but interesting development here. We'll see how the shareholders take it, how they embrace it, today and going forward. But very good, annual general meeting. You could have gone to Seprod's website, AGM 2020 link, live streaming, and we believe you can get it there also on replay or rebroadcast. So good stuff there by Seprod. What a change over the last couple of years. Next up, we got Wisynco Group. So trading in shares here, a sale, a director selling just above 1.7 million shares, 1,764,840 shares during the period September 14th to September 16th, 2020. Not a great sign to see, something that you don't necessarily want to see all the time, but probably some profit taking some cash off the table, but not something that you want to see. This is not a small trade, not a mid-sized trade, over 1 million units, quite a significant trade there in Wisynco. Salada Foods Jamaica, some changes here from a director standpoint, one mainly, so notice of resignation and appointments. That's Mr. Aubin Hill, coming off of the board and also as chairman of the audit committee, effective September 14th, and that's expected. So, the company Salada really congratulates Mr. Aubin Hill, as he's now been appointed of the cabinet of the government of Jamaica, GOJ, and as a result of this, Mrs. Catherine Lewis Green, an existing director of Salada Foods, is now appointed to chair the audit committee effective the same date, September 14th, 2020. Now, Dolphin Cove, definitely impacted from COVID-19. Dolphin Cove, a company within tourism, announcing here a change of venue for their annual general meeting, their AGM, which is a good move. It's scheduled for September 23rd, 2020. That's this week. It's going to be changed actually to Dolphin Cove in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. The company comes out, its board of directors, and states that, given C19, this location will better allow them to physically distance their shareholders. So great move there. Last up, we got Barita Investments now. So talk about, they've been raising funds for the last few years very successfully. Now, given the pandemic, C19, a hugely successful APO, additional public offer. So talk about defying the pandemic, defying lots of analysts out there, lots of financial bloggers who said, put this on hold, wait until after C19, but nobody has a crystal ball when that would happen. So hugely successful, not just smashing the 9 billion Jamaican dollars, but upsizing per the prospectus to 13.5 billion Jamaican dollars. And put this into perspective, Proven, who had to come out, make some announcements, suspend their APO. A few other companies who probably have some approvals, whether they're financial or non-financial, whether they're in manufacturing, distribution, and have had to put those plans on hold. Barita not only hits the 9 billion, but upsizes, hits $13.5 billion despite C19, the pandemic. So highly successful APO offer. Look now, if you're a shareholder or non-shareholder, at the total equity and the total cash as well that Barita is going to have at its disposal, potentially for M&A deals in the marketplace or the region. I'm Mark Croskery, this is Business Live.